okay. This is a great example of how this is a perfect example. God, I look really spooky. I wonder if that helps. This is a great example of things I don't handle well. I was 5 minutes early, couldn't get on, trying to reach out to everybody. I don't handle things well when things don't go as planned. That's a big difference between moms and non-moms. I don't handle it well at all. I just am like, oh, stressing me out. Stressing me out. Thank you, and Nick and Jacqueline for, I'm sorry, but I had to throw it all out there. And it was quite funny because Jacqueline was doing something, but Nick just went, hold on. And then she did it. But then Jacqueline was like, but it says this. And it was, so I was talking to somebody in America and somebody talking to somebody in Canada, and I'm in New Zealand. And I'm like, will somebody please answer me? And then I went to text messages, and then I knew that that would help. So, you too can be a Scentsy director, star director, and superstar director. Yes, you can. Oh, fuck me. Yes, you're going to get swear words now. I ain't holding back. Okay. Oh. Ginger. Yeah, she's on. Relentless. Hello. Cindy. Oh, yeah. I don't roll with punches well. That's a mom thing. I know. And then, oh my God. And then Nick added me, and then Jack unadded me. And then Jack added me. It was hilarious, actually. Looking back now, I can laugh, but I'm just like. Then it had to ask me 3 questions. I'm like, fucking let me in. I snort a lot, Ginger. I snort a lot. Not of like, you know, the white, no washer with snorting, but okay. Well, here's why what just happened was extra amplified with illness in my stomach when it happened. First, I'm going to tell you, I'm Patty Wunder if you don't know who I am. I am obviously American, but I live in New Zealand. And I just want to thank Kelsey for sending me the message and inviting me to share. I'm originally from, oh, I hate saying it, but I'm originally from Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Shh. I say I'm from Chicago because that's where I was happy. As soon as I hit that Wisconsin border, I get a little nauseous. I don't really like going back to Wisconsin, but that is where my mom is and everybody is. So I have to go back there once in a while. But yes. Seriously, Kelly, I was like, fucking let me in. I'm not answering. And it says, would we be able to tell if you're a Scentsy consultant? I'm like, you better. All my answers, admin, I hope you see those because those were all meant for you. I'm like, oh man, I actually need a tissue because I'm crying. Okay, so as I was saying, oh, good, June. I like a Nick. I'm from the same planet as a Nick is from. I'm pretty positive about that. So those of you who watched her video last week, hello, my love. Hi, Robbie. I am from the same planet, so I have lots of squirrel moments. I get real passionate. I have a potty mouth. I'm really blunt. And so I want to just, the people that really know me and love me are going to be like, who the hell is this person talking? Because I've been so fortunate enough to do so many trainings, and I feel pretty damn confident in my booking, selling, and recruiting. But this topic was a little bit different. This isn't a task topic, or this is how you do this topic, or just do this and just do this and have a process and have a plan. And this was heart stuff. And heart stuff is never easy, especially when you're the minority. Thanks, Joe. heart stuff it's touchy. People have different opinions. People have different perspectives. People are passionate. And I'm going to say, for me, I'm going to swipe these comments away just for a second. As a child-free by choice person, I am passionate about my choice. Don't try to freaking change my choice. I made this choice when I was like 10. When I was 10, I asked my mom, my foster mom, for a hysterectomy, because I found out that once you had a hysterectomy, you couldn't have kids. So I have not wanted them ever. I've never had that thing. I don't like being needed. I don't need to take care of something. Taking care of my dying man just about sent me over the edge. It's not my thing. And then I have a friend named June who has kids, and I know she was put on this planet to have kids. She is the most amazing mom. Her kids are so happy, so loud, and they move around a lot, which is my big thing. Like, but I am firm in my choices, and usually parents are really firm and protective of their choice when they're around me. It kind of and I think this is where I might get in trouble. I think sometimes people get extra rare. I'm happy I have my kids, and my kids are everything, and I love this and I love that. And I think sometimes it's that little bit of, I just wish I had some peace and quiet like you do, so I'm just going to ramp up my love for my kids. And I get it. And I get it. And that's part of the reason, I think, because I do get it. Like, I don't get living in, well, anyway, I get the pride, I get the love, I get the, wow, I think birth is amazing and just a freak thing. Like, I just always look at pregnant people and go, is that weird? And they go, uh-huh. And you can ask a Nick. I message her and go, is this weird? Because I can be really open and honest with a Nick, and she knows my thought processes and she understands me. So I can go, does it feel like an alien? And she goes, yeah. So we each need those safe places. And that's why this topic was really tricky. I have never prepared for a training like I've prepared for this one. And literally, I can't wait till it's over. Because honestly, I'm just nauseous. And then when it didn't go live, extra nauseous. And I'm like, just let me get it over with. So while it's an honor to be here, an honor to be asked by these amazing admins to be part of this page, it is just, I typed everything out because I rewrote it 3 times. I want to make sure that you know that I am respectful of every mom, non-mom, whatever. And good, Becca, wash your dishes. I'm just quickly going back. All right. Thank you, Jessica. I was not cursing like a sailor. I was like, she's a fellow. I will say, I think when Dan Orchard comes to Region 3, well, now he lives here, but I think when he comes to our events, he just kind of, because the Aussies and the Kiwis tend to cuss a lot. We don't, yeah. And I know growing up in America that is not okay in America usually, because what will people think? But, me and a Nick, what the fuck do we care what people think? But here, oh yeah, cussing's an all day, everyday thing. So it's just part of lingo. I wonder if I move. No, it doesn't work any better. Oh, a little bit better. I just feel really like ghosty. All right. I know it takes me a while to get going. My goal of this today is to maybe open the mom's ideas of what's possible, and open or even I know a couple people that have stay-home dads and the moms go out and work. So I'm saying moms, I was trying to say moms and dads. But also kind of think about people like me. And most of the things I'm doing and I'm speaking from is my experiences. This came about because we have the gift to hear and learn from some of these amazing leaders that are in this group. And most of them are wives and mothers. And I have been in Scentsy for 4 years, and I have never heard somebody really do, except for one, training where she doesn't mention kids. And every once in a while I'm like, or, you know, Allison's big thing is marriages and that. And I'm like, well, what happens if you don't have anybody at home? So do I not listen to this message? Like, well, this training, like it's geared to the majority, right? So I made a point in somebody's, I think in Kelsey's speech, and somebody said, oh, that you should do something on that. And I was like, oh yeah, maybe I should. And then I got invited here. So here I am. I'm trying to open a conversation. I'm trying to open a thought process. There may be tips and tricks in here for you, especially for the parents, because I think sometimes your lives are so hectic that you don't see some things in front of you. And again, everything I say in here is to be eye-opening, insightful, and kind. There's no judgment. And that's why everybody's like, this is Patty Wunder. Not that I judge, but I just let things rip without thinking a lot of times. And so I put a lot of thought into this. So please know it comes from my heart. Now, I'm going to put one disclaimer in here. If you have a non-supportive schmuck that you share the bed or the house with, and you feel alone, this is not the training for that. Don't be sending me mail. Don't be sending me messages about your unsupportive spouse. That's a whole different topic. And you know damn well what to say and actually what to do, but you just have to put big girl panties on and do it. So that's not included in these topics. So please, because that came up when I went and talked to certain people, and some people were like, well, I feel like I'm alone. Not the same. Sorry, not the same. All right. So I promise to always shed humor on everything I'm talking about, because that's my goal in life. And maybe change some thoughts about some things. So when I started thinking about the positives and negatives to being single can be, just going back, people that are child-free by choice, like me, because I'm allergic. Child-free not by choice. Widowed, also me. Single or child-free, but their partner or spouse is away a lot for work or the military. I did include those because they don't get to talk to them every day. They don't get to see them every day. They're gone for weeks at a time. I know in Australia they do lots of mining. And most of my friends, their husbands work away for a lot, weeks sometimes. So I kind of included that in there as well. I started asking people that don't have kids, so what are the negatives to not having kids in your Scentsy business? All but one went, there aren't any. And I went, yes, there are. And they're like, no, there's not. And Robbie was one of them. And I said, yeah, there is. And here, let me explain. So as soon as you decide to try to have a baby, whatever that looks like, whether it's adoption, surrogacy, in vitro, whatever, you are opening up a life's worth of contacts from that day forward. No, I'm not high. And what the hell do I know? Well, here we go. And this is where I hope that maybe you haven't thought about it because you're just living your life and you're busy and it's crazy having kids. It may start in a pharmacy, getting a pregnancy kit. And we know the single girls do that too, but we're not talking about that today. Then you have doctors, nurses, and if you're over here, midwives, and receptionists at the doctors. Okay, see where I'm going with this? Then you have a baby shower. You know damn well that Auntie Sue went and invited people off of your Facebook list and even friends you haven't seen in a long time and probably a couple you didn't really want to see. but Auntie Sue didn't know what has going down. So these people are now in front of you at a party for you. And, you know, gender reveal parties, baby showers, all that stuff. Then you go to baby stores. I don't know if you have in America plunket groups, but that's a big thing over here. That's all I hear about with people with kids. Plunket, plunket, plunket. So still don't know what it is. I see the sign. I have no idea what it is. Baby stores, plunket groups, preschool, grade school, middle school, high school, teachers, other mothers, birthday parties. You go to all these damn birthday parties with everybody from when they're 1 and onward, because a 1-year-old knows that they're having 80 people at their house. McDonald Playland, parks, school committees, school fairs, fundraisers, sports, band, extracurricular activities, in case you guys have brainiacs, that's like chess club and things like that. Jobs as they go through high school and jobs as they go through college. Scouts, volunteering that they do, community that you live in revolves around kids. If you choose to see them, there is a constant flood of new contacts, basically until they meet someone and you meet their parents. And then who knows? Like, I'm talking marriage, life commitment, whatever. A school is more likely to give you a fundraising gig if your child goes there. They know you, they know your face. Rather than me, a stranger walking in who really doesn't have an invested interest in the helping the school based on me not having a child, especially at that school. And hey, here's something. Check out that dodgy pink-haired lady sitting in the McDonald's Playland. Yeah, she didn't come with a kid. She's just sitting there watching your kids. Oh yeah, and at the park, also, didn't rock up with a kid. Just sitting on a bench. Keeping my eye on yours. No, that doesn't look shady at all. Come on. Some people would think, never mind. I'm going to behave. I promised. I'm going to behave. Okay, so do you see where I went with that? If you are prepared and you are organized and you have planned this, you literally are around. And this is the thing that all the moms said, we have a bigger range of contacts than you. There is a flood of contacts all the time since the day you try. We get our pap smear. Again, same doctor I always see, so there's no new contacts. Okay? So this is the massive difference. This is a huge difference. You literally, if you choose to see it, I don't even care if you're waiting in the car in the school line and I know how all the moms line up and then they all sit on their phones behind the wheel. What if you got out of your car and walked up and handed everybody in the car a sample? Are you making the most of all these mom opportunities that I don't have? Okay? Okay. My side. Enjoy. And please don't think that this is pathetic. But as I wrote it, I went, oh, they're going to think it's sad. But it's not. I swear it's not. Because after this, I'm going to go lay on the couch and watch Netflix because I am tired. There you go. That's the big difference. That is what you guys want that I'd have. So, okay. My side. I have a cat groomer. I have a vet. I have a mobile vet nurse. And when I had a dog, the occasional dog park. This stuff never changes. Unless the service is crap or the people are crap. I can visit various dog parks, though, and watch people's dogs and not be a creeper about it. It's a welcome thing with us dog people. So there's a difference. When I go to get new leads, I am very intentional. Every time I leave the house, which isn't often, I have samples with me. I live out in the country, So when I stop to put gas in my car, or I pick up prescriptions at the pharmacy, I see my doctor, I have fibromyalgia and I have chronic fatigue. And I think there's a lot of people that have certain things that people can't see and just assume things. So that's another whole subject, but don't always think that we're just doing nothing. I order pizza. I go to the grocery store. I prefer to order online and have it delivered. He gets samples for his truck. He gets a scent circle. So I do the same things that you guys do, but it has to be done. Because I have to find common ground with people. You have all the things I mentioned, but you still have your pizza delivery guy, your grocery delivery guy, your doctor, your farm. You still have all the same stuff, but you have this whole other massive pool of contacts if you choose to see them and take action. I think kids help people have a common ground. It's easier to build rapport if you have kids and somebody else has kids, because honestly, and this is going to sound wrong, but I don't care. Show me. Jacqueline knows this from me because all we see are pictures of Lincoln and Jackson. And every once in a while, she shows us pictures of her dogs. And then I'm like, oh, how most people act with babies when they see a baby and they're like, oh, it's so cute. I don't have that. Do you want to hold her? Nope. It's okay. I'm allergic. I do have an under 1 and over 12 rule. That's just a Patty rule that I tend to have kind of gotten across. And again, it's the motion and the volume of everything. There are kids that I really do like that are 7 and 8, but they're quiet and they don't move around a lot. They're usually a little bit nerdy or creative and they draw a lot and things like that. Robbie is also my person. But it doesn't mean we don't love you. It doesn't mean we don't love your kids. We just don't gush over them. I would rather gush over you, the mom, than gush over your kids. When people have babies, I tend not to buy baby gifts. I buy mom gifts. I buy her spa services. I buy her pampering things. I buy her things that she can do for herself to make herself feel like a woman and not just a mom. Because I think moms get lost. I think women get lost being moms. I find it really sad when moms don't know what their passions are or their hobbies are post kids. Because the kids take up so much, and the husband and the spouse or whatever, partner, that you lose who you are. And I, as a child free by choice person, I see you. I see you. There was somebody on my team. I met her one day. Her son was sick and he sat next to me and he just kept we went through my phone. I showed him funny pictures of my friend's dogs who dresses her dogs up. And then I showed him pictures of me at the Great Barrier Reef. I met this person and I could see that the light had gone out of her eyes. I could see it. And I saw the house and I saw the kids and I was like, far out. And she did home daycare. So now she had other people's kids too. And I saw this person and I didn't say anything because we were there to talk about this woman's husband was going to be Earl's donor for a kidney. And that was, I still always have my Scentsy shirt on. I still have my Scentsy jacket on. But I did not do my Scentsy thing there. However, she was sitting next to her son who was sitting next to me. And I went through my phone and I went through Facebook and my pictures of the Great Barrier Reef. That was a free Scentsy trip. And I said, look, there's Nemo. I saw Nemo, and I went through and I showed different things. And I looked at her, I said, have you ever traveled? Have you been to Australia? And she's like, no, I haven't gone farther than the schoolyard. Right. And then we went through some more and I just checked and we got out of the house. We left. We got in the car and I just looked at Earl and I said, Earl is my man. my late man. And I said, she needs Scentsy. And he looked at me and goes, yeah, she does. Yeah, she does. I said, it's like someone went click and turned off her light. When I look back at her pre-baby photos, she had a sparkle and she had a light in her eyes. And it was very different. And now it was very dim. And I think moms give so much of themselves that they forget about themselves. So I am the person that won't give you baby gifts. Because everybody's freaking giving you baby gifts too. I want to give you bath bombs and Scentsy soak, and I want to give you facials and manicures and pedicures and massages, and I always have an open invitation to moms to my house. I live out by the beach. I live alone, and it's pretty damn quiet. And I have over 600 movies here to watch, and I have Netflix, and I always say, you know what? If you just need peace and quiet, I can leave a key out for you. You can come here. Remember Sex and the City, how they ended up using Carrie's apartment as like a sanctuary to get away for 2 days? I always offer that to moms here. It's always quiet. There's nobody ever here. Just come on over. Just let me know. You're more than welcome. It's always quiet. And I tend to look at moms that way. Now, they all don't need to be that way, but a lot of the ones I meet are. So, I do think kids give you rapport building with other moms, but what if they don't? What if you're somebody like me and they're like, well, she doesn't really care. I got a puppy. Now you're talking. But there's other things. So find out about, and I think that's the other thing. You forget all the things that you loved and you don't know how to have that conversation without talking about your kids. It's just like me not being able to have a conversation without talking about Scentsy, because kids are your life and Scentsy tends to be what I do during the day, all day long. So that's where there's a little bit different thing. I am an introvert. I know most people don't get it, but I am. I'm a huge introvert. I don't like leaving the house. I am an immigrant. I did not live here my whole life. I am not social. I am a job gypsy, so that does help, because as soon as I hate my job, I go. So I collect business cards, and I make sure I keep everybody's names because I've been in sales a long time. I can honestly say I avoid peopling at all costs. An introvert saying is the best plans are the canceled ones, because we are anxious and we are like, oh God, I have to go out and people today. And that's how I normally feel. And so when somebody says, oh, I can't make it, I'm like, sweet. Not that I don't want to see you. It's the thought of leaving. Yeah. And if I can order it online, I will. Absolutely. When I need new leads, I drag my ass out of the house and set myself a goal. I have samples in hand, and I do not get to come home until I've handed out those samples and achieved my goal. But the sooner I do it, the sooner I can come back to my house. And that is a game that I play. For my first 2 weeks of my business, when I joined Scentsy, I had 2 to 4 parties a week. Now it's closer to about 1 to 2 a week, but it's my social thing. If I'm not making money, I really don't need to leave my house. And let me tell you, I could stay in my house for weeks and not leave and be completely happy. I don't have any friends that live super close that can run over at a moment's notice or run to the movies at a moment's notice, because most of them have children. It's not a simple thing. When I had Earl around, he did most of my deliveries. He helped with team tracking, watching numbers, helping my team, and being my sounding board. And I knew, even though he made me not say Scentsy 2 hours a day, we had a no Scentsy rule from 6 to 8. He's like, I don't want to hear the word Scentsy for 2 hours. All right. You know, when someone goes, well, how was your day? He would talk about his day. Well, my days, I work Scentsy. But I couldn't talk about it because he was like, enough about the Scentsy. I knew that he was my biggest fan. I utilized every hospital, every doctor's appointment, and hospice contact I could. I remember them sending him to a new hospice place, and I smiled. Big smile. And he just looked at me, and I went, and he just went, oh, God. He knew exactly what I was thinking. New people. Now I am my biggest fan. And I know there's some people on here that are my big fans too. But having your friends being your fans and having that your person be your fan is a very different thing. Fuck, here I go. And I will say that my cat Shanti, she's pretty chuffed too. She's pretty proud of her mama. She gets to eat because of Scentsy. I do my own deliveries. I pay my own bills. I have to make my dollar a stretch on the slow months. I say this because I am crazy proud of doing this on my own. I worked hard because I knew one day I would have to do this alone. When I think of working for someone else again, I get physically ill, and I'm not exaggerating. I hate working for other people, and that hate fuels me to put my fears aside and get some goddamn leads when I need them and make some friends when my calendar isn't as full as it needs to be. Nobody's bailing my ass out. It's just me. When I have a rough day or need to vent about something, I have to work it out myself and motivate myself and work through things. Yes, I have friends I can call from all over the world thanks to Scentsy. But you know the difference between having your person and having your friends. When Earl died, I felt more love and support than I've ever felt in my entire life. That was because of my Scentsy family. I know I am not alone in this world, but I am alone in this house. I live with a vocal, curvy cat and a bit of grief that pops in and out. All right, so let's talk about moms and dads there, especially the ones that stay home. Or mums, as they say over here. Let me say you are freaking incredible. I don't know how you do it, but you do it every freaking day. You don't really have much choice. The ones that think they have a choice aren't very good parents. Usually end up in jail. You have to show up. You have to. You don't have another option, a legal one. Even when you don't feel like it. Mom and dads work 24/7. You clean a room, you go to the toilet, which you're still not alone. I'm going to swipe back to see if people resonate with this. You clean a room, you go to the toilet, which you're still not alone. You get out of the bathroom and wonder how the hell they messed up that room while you peed and were bugging you at the bathroom door at the same time. You clean it up again. You go get the mail in, turn around, and it looks like a cyclone went through. You clean it up again. It's a vicious cycle. Plus, you're expected to keep those two-legged critters alive. The law likes that and grandma likes that. And apparently, you can't just put them in a kennel like a dog when you need some peace and quiet. So you have to feed them multiple times a day, bathe them, do their laundry, help with homework, enforce rules so they don't cut off a limb or date a serial killer. Oh, and then when finally the critters are nestled in their beds, you pick up the living room one last time, and then your other half gives you the look. And you think, are you freaking kidding me right now? I still need to do this and pack lunches and find missing Tupperware lids and. Oh, and now you still need spouse and partner time and Scentsy time. Oh, and that's right. You still need to fit in exercise and food prep? Just saying. Are you tired? Of course you're tired. But here's the magic in your lives. Are they chaotic? Yep. Are they busy? By the way, I hate that word. Yes, they are full. But the magic is you guys get more things done than people who don't have things planned all day and have this kind of automatic routine set in. Jamie. I have a single mom on my team who has 13 kids. And 2 have serious health issues. And she herself is going through radium treatments on and off, where she actually has to not be in the same room or be a certain length away from her kids. She gets more done in her Scentsy business, prepping for those times. And when she's not in radium treatment, she's trained her kids how to do a smelly session so people can still come to the house and smell the scents while she's stuck in her room. When she's good, she goes out and she goes full bore because she knows she's going to have to come back home and handle that. She gets more done than the people that literally have one child or no child that sit at home all day and don't do anything. So, and a lot of, like, you think about that, it's mind-boggling. I'm like, no excuse. There's no excuses. The excuse is within yourself, no matter if you have kids or not. It lies within you. You can be in your car picking up your kids from school and quickly do your Maven follow-ups. You can be preparing dinner and listening to a training. You can find 15-minute chunks or even 5-minute chunks throughout your day, and you find a way to work it in. In a way, your family forces your routine. Does it take planning and discipline and a little organization? You bet. But when you have a strong why and you are determined, you will work it out. You will make it work. The other thing is, for most people with families, that is your why. You look at those faces every single day and you feel your why. You know why this temporary sacrifice is so important. It's for your family. They are right in front of you every single day, reminding you why you are doing all of this and why you don't want to be doing all of this, and you want to have a better life for them and a better life for your family. Now, me. Scentsy has changed my life. And I know it's one of the cheesiest freaking things we always hear, but it's true. If you allow it, if you reach out outside your immediate circle, if you engage in team pages, if you engage in the consultant and the Scentsy pages, if you allow yourself to do certain things. I focus on my big, hairy goal. I have a big, hairy goal that I set when I was at leadership in New York. My first goal was to outrun my medical coverage so I never had to go back to work, and I did that. My next goal was to work hard enough that when Earl passed away, I could live on my own without his help and without needing a roommate or somebody else to help with my bills. And Earl made me start doing that basically the year before he died. And I can honestly say I've been paying all my own bills since then. Even if I went to him and asked for money, he'd say no. If it was important, he'd say yes, of course. But I don't have that anymore. I focus on the possible paychecks that I know others have gotten. I am somebody that wants to know what's possible. I want to see people's paychecks. I want to know, I hear about Jacqueline's, or I can only imagine Allison's, and I hear about Becca's, and I'm just like, yes, that's where I want to be. I think we don't talk about it enough because we think we're boasting. I know there's your legal things from Scentsy that we're not allowed to talk about dollars. But for me and my personality, I'm really fluent in the DISC personality types. I've been trained heavily on them. And when you can identify somebody's personality type, you know how to talk to them and you know how to build that rapport and you know how to get the most out of them. And most of my friends are high S personalities. And usually S personalities are very family focused. When you look at my test scores and my thing, I almost have 0 S. So you never want to come to me and say, oh my gosh, Scentsy could really help you spend more time with your family. Oh my God, get me the hell out of here. That's how I'd feel about that. So knowing how to talk to people and knowing what's important to them is a really important part of your business, but you can't assume that everybody's the same. I have a goal to move to New York, and it was in 10 years and now it's 7 years. And the reason being is I expect myself to be at a place where I can move with ease, and then I can go bother Robbie and Rufo all the freaking time. He is part of my end game, and he helps me. He is my friend. I have things all about New York around my house that all my best friends have bought me because I need to surround myself with that, so I see it every day. I don't have kids to see every day, and that's my reason. So what is my reason? My reason is make it almost a reality, like you're almost there. You know, Robbie helps me figure out what electricity bills cost, what rent costs, what would be like in this. You know, I'm planning it down to exactly how much money I'm going to need so that it's done when I go, you know. The other thing I focus on is one day not having to budget groceries. Does anybody else hate budgeting for groceries? I hate budgeting for groceries. There's not even, it's like working for somebody else, but I have to do that one. So do you see a pattern? I don't like people telling me what to do or how to do it. I have the freedom to work 15 hours a day and be like a professional gamer who needs a diaper and has Uber Eats deliveries and doesn't eat them. I have a stack of dishes for 2 days now because I have been doing coaching calls, team recognition. I've been working the last 2 days, at least 10 hours a day, both days. And I only do it once a month that I full in do this. But that is why today I get to go on that couch and just chill out because I need that mentally. I have fibromyalgia, so I have high pain days. It's one of those things. I do have that luxury of moving things around if I need to. What time is it? Okay. I can binge watch an entire season of Netflix, and I can do it later. That is probably a disease of a lot of single people that do this, is I can do it later. But you can do it later right out of business. You have to be disciplined, you have to be focused, and you have to be consistent. There's nobody but me to make me move my ass, do the work, leave the house. My why is big, it excites me, it drives me, and I feel it, and I just keep it close to my heart and all my little trinkets around that people give me. Here's the other thing. All that stuff I said about you amazing moms, I use that as a reason to give myself grace and walk away from my desk. So thank you. To put my phone down, to sit down and eat someplace away from my workspace, to go for a walk, to go to the gym, to meet a friend for coffee. One thing I have learned is I need boundaries. I will work myself into the ground because that's just my personality. For myself and for my team, I need boundaries. I think many think I have all the free time in the world and I'm available for them 24/7. Especially since I go to bed around 2 to 3 a.m. and sleep till about 11:30 a.m. Thanks, no kids. I may not have to cook a family dinner or go to a sporting event or have a date night with anyone anymore or go on family holidays or have another job. But most of the people I looked up to in this business do all of these things and are super successful. So when I feel like I've been sitting and working and I have a goal, I can get so hyper-focused. Thanks to you amazing leaders and moms, I now tell myself it's okay to go sit down and watch Ellen and have a nice dinner and shut Scentsy off for an hour or two. It seems weird giving myself permission to do that, I know. But I love to achieve things. I'm prize motivated. I have hyper focus. But single people can either forget to take care of themselves or they forget to take care of their business. You know what I mean? I used to drive from Wisconsin to Schaumburg, Illinois to work every day. It took me about 2 hours one way. They asked me in the interview, the distance won't be a problem? And I said, nope, but you should worry when I live across the street. I always allowed extra time for things when I had a 2-hour drive, and I was always 20 minutes early. And then I moved, around the corner, and I had plenty of time, and I always clocked in right on time. Let's talk holidays. This one, I don't know how y'all gonna take this one. Let's talk holidays. I like Halloween and my birthday. That's it. That's the only holidays that I love. I used to love Christmas until I moved here. Now it just does my head in because it's hot on Christmas and that just doesn't work with my brain. As far back as I can remember, I think I started working at Taco Bell when I was 16. I have always volunteered to work holidays. I would rather make money than spend time with my family. I'm sorry, but it's true. I can see them tomorrow when people aren't getting double the pay or time and a half. Doesn't mean I don't love them. It just means I'd rather work the same amount of hours and make more money doing it. Being self-employed, I feel like I'm on this mandatory stand-down period, waiting for the official holiday to be over so I can get back to working on my goal. Really annoys the shit out of me. My motto is, if the mall is open, so am I. Except mornings. So somebody else can be open during that time. But I also find that when I just kick back and take my day off and go on a holiday with Scentsy, this is when teamies join and sales orders roll in. It helps me realize that shit still happens. Everything's going to be okay. And that's the beauty of what we do. So freaking relax a little. While I think of most moms and dads that cross their paths of more human beings than I personally do, it means I need to gather and build relationships differently. Online is a biggie. I volunteer. I help charities. I have to search for events. I look for networking groups. I don't drink. I don't eat meat. And I'm allergic to tiny humans. Seriously? The struggle for bonding is real, yo. Like, seriously. And I don't drink wine. Like, it's weird. I struggle for bonding. I really struggle for that. What do I have in common with people? So when I meet people with colored hair and tattoos and single, I know I found my people. It's just, and they usually have animals. So that's usually how it works. Or the gay community is one of my favorites. Animals seem to be my connection. People know that my love of animals is deep. So I try to figure out how I can join groups or events that revolve around that. One of the child-free people I spoke to shared that she felt she was always expected to be empathetic to the needs of moms, but moms weren't always as empathetic to her life and her needs. Moms tend to be late or change plans last minute because mini human one is feeling under the weather. But when we are exhausted or not up to it or having a high-paying day, we are judged and it's taken personally. Not always, obviously, but it's just an example. Another person I spoke to is not child-free by choice. The universe has other plans for her. She's always wanted children, but sadly it wasn't in the cards. She felt like she was excluded and even shamed for being child-free. This is in Scentsy. And nobody even talked to her to find out why. She felt judged. This person is freaking amazing. She's somebody, even if she had kids, I'd look up to. She is one of the, she just blows my stack about how amazing she is. I truly think it's jealousy. I really do. But again, things were assumed and a sensitive heart was affected. Please get the whole story from the person and not through someone else. I think there's lots to both sides, but I think there's a thought between both sides. One is, she's so lucky she doesn't have kids. And the other one is, she's so lucky she could have kids. Remember both sides. When someone says, because people tend to go, oh, do you have any kids? I'm like, nope. And they can tell from my face that they should probably just stop talking about it, because I can't hide my face half the time. I'm trying. I'm getting better at it. But why is that something that we ask? Why does it have to be? Because it used to be, oh, what do you do? Hi, I'm Patty. Oh, what do you do? I'm a mom. Well, guess what? You're other things too. Don't forget that. And we are too. I have heard others say to me, personally, you live and breathe Scentsy. Well, it's true, but it's not everything. But it is the bubble I live in. It is most of my waking hours, and I have to make sure I am not portraying that to others that want to be directors and think they have to be all in like me to be a director. So again, I'm intentional in capturing photos to know what else is Patty about. My life posts and my Wunder wisdom posts get more engagement than any Scentsy post. So I know I have more to offer, and I need to share that too. It has given me a voice if I allow it to, and I found out that it's okay. So I'm not sure if this has brought anything to light for anybody. I'm not even sure I set out to do what I had hoped. I guess the idea was just because we don't have kids doesn't mean everything is rainbows, glitter, and unicorns, and we don't live on the couch eating ice cream watching soap operas or reality TV. And after I wrote that, I went, God, I know a lot of moms that have that life. You have more glitter and unicorns in your life, and you watch way more reality TV than I do. So I'm going to swipe back so I can see comments, but thank you for listening today, and I hope it did something. I don't know, but let me go back. Okay. I'm still a little teary from before. Oh yeah, but they're different if you're, oh no, they're not. Very true, very true. Yes, Joe Moyes, you have a tribe. And yes, you get me. I love you. Oh, thank you, Roseanne. What if you don't like other people's kids or other people? Yep, we should talk. Yeah, me too, Robbie. I need peace and quiet. I need things to work as they intended. I need people to do what they say they're going to do. Thank you, Jamie, for my nieces and nephews. I love them. I'm me too, Robbie. Love you too. Love you. Yes, Katrina Mott, my fangirl who loves reality TV and has kids that move a lot and make noise. Aw. Going through, sorry. Children are ninjas. Sometimes I think my cat is too. One of my cats that passed, she was just deadly, man. She was a ninja. Oh, Amanda, the hiding in the pantry. As soon as you said that, I thought of Charlotte with the red paint on her expensive skirt, and I just went, that's what I remember. And right when you said that, that's what I saw. At least you admit that they're hellions, Allison. Yes. You can use that entertaining a significant other, Becca, for your own entertainment. There you go. That's what I was trying to say. Yes, Amanda, I was peeking. Yes. Cindy, 13. Wow, that's what I said when I learned it. Okay, Jason, I just realized how much I suck at this business, how much I'm slacking and using excuses to make me feel better about not working my business as much as I do. Oh, thank you. I don't know if it's Jason or Alicia, but thank you. And I do think that after I wrote this the third time, I actually thought, you know what? I think I did okay with the moms, because I see, because I'm not in it. Sometimes people will say, but you don't have kids, you don't understand, or people don't take our advice or our suggestions because we don't have kids. But sometimes our suggestions are pretty damn good, but because we're not in it, but we can see what's happening. So we try, at least me, I try to be like, have you tried this? You know, with Earl's daughter, Chloe, everybody started going, God, she's like the Chloe whisperer. She can get anything out of Chloe. She understands Chloe. And Chloe has recently told me, you're the only person who has ever understood me and never got it wrong. And it's because I don't come from a place of, well, I'm the mom and I said so and go do it. And I'm stressed out because of all the other stuff going on. I literally just go, yeah, but your face isn't saying what your mouth is saying. What's that about? And I dig and I dig and I dig. And I have the time to dig without the other chaos. And I can just kind of hyper focus on her. and then know when to back off because we're very alone. So don't dismiss the aunties that don't have kids, or your single or your child-free people. Don't dismiss their knowledge, because sometimes if they're like me, they see things and they don't really want to say and give opinions because we kind of know we should just shut the hell up. But if you ask, or if you want that feedback and that support, and be like, have you tried? Because I remember when Earl said something, Chloe was she lived with her mom in the North Island, and her mom would call Earl to yell at Chloe. And I said, do you know what I would do if I was Chloe? I'd have the phone out here, rolling my eyes at you, watching TV, going, is he done yet? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yep. Whatever. That's exactly what I do. I'd probably even flip you the bird. I'm like, what are you going to do about it? You're down here. And I always will think like a 13-year-old first. I will always take Chloe's side first over a parent's side, usually. With Chloe, it is that way, because the parents are always coming from this place, and they have their ideas, and they have this thing, and they're enforcing things, and they want her to do it this way because that's how they did it. And I'm like, yeah, but she doesn't work that way. She's her own human being. So I always come from in a different place, and I get the information that they can't get from her. So it's just a little things like that. Yes, the whole paycheck thing. I wish that when I was in Mary Kay in America, there was a magazine that came out every month, and it actually had everybody's paychecks in it. And it was, God, I loved that. I'd cut them out. I'd stick them up. That spoke to me. I loved it. Some people would make me copies of theirs paychecks so that when we still got paper ones, and hang them up. And that was awesome. I come to Oklahoma. I know you did, Patty Lynch. I know I will. Yes, groceries suck. Aw, thanks, Beth. I hope you sleep better. Yes, we all need a kitten corner like Jamie. That's funny. Karen Valou. Let's talk about Karen. She is a freaking rock star. And that is the thing. And the fun thing, you can say, yes, I am a workaholic for sure. But when I actually look at it, I love it. I love it. It's become a hobby. It's become my financial means. It is how I meet people. It's how I make friends. It's how I do free travel. It literally encompasses everything. So like today and yesterday felt like work, but normally not like work. And it was people work that I was doing yesterday. So for me as an empath and somebody that is introverted and takes everything in, it's exhausting for me to be around people. But I took a lot of energy yesterday and the day before helping people, and people seem to be they're kind of coming out of these darker places, and they just need to figure out that it's okay, and they need to give themselves some grace about it, and they need to just breathe. And I did more life coachy stuff than I did Scentsy business stuff in the last. And so that takes a lot out of you. Like I could never be like a professional counselor or anything because I would just be exhausted every day. Yes, Jamie's my people, and she's, pro-child. Larian, we need to talk. I don't know why it's a social norm. What's funny, Karen, is that justifying, it becomes defensive. Whether you are child-free or pro-child. I call you breeders. Don't hate me, but that's just what I call you. I should call you parents, because that would probably be the better word. But it never rolls off my tongue. It is a weird... As soon as somebody asks me, why don't you have kids? Most people don't ask me anymore why I don't have kids. They can see it in my face. I don't want kids. You know that thing on the doctor says, it says, could you be pregnant? And I put hell no. It always said hell no. I never check the box. I write hell no. They know. But some people, like this other person I was talking to that wasn't child-free by choice, I think of how hard that is if people are going, so do you have any kids? So do you have any kids? That's how it feels when people do it too, by the way. So do you have any kids? Yes, I have a dog and a cat. And I have 100 team members. Rami, freaking adore you. I'm so happy to have heard you. Thank you. Oh, yay. Thank you. I really didn't know what was going to happen today. Yes, Lisa, Scentsy is the best distraction and gift through difficult times. Absolutely. And I'm glad you found a happy place in the purple bubble. I adore you too, Miss Jamie. I know we're 2:12. Well, since I came on, I did okay with time. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Beth. I just don't want to leave anybody out. I love my nephew, Sid. Yes, thank you, Rose. Roseanne was somebody I messaged and say, hey, do you have kids? There's some people that have kids and really don't talk about them. And then when I go, do you have kids? I even actually messaged somebody else and said, do you have kids? Because I've never seen it. And then I went, oh, wait, you do, but they're adults. I had to think about how they post. Jamie, I think your kids define you a little bit because you have an amazing, eclectic family. I love your family. Thank you, Jessica. No, I don't think moms are just moms. I really don't. And first and foremost, I think moms are women. And I think they forget that. Like, you wouldn't be able to be a mom, like, physically give birth if you weren't a woman first. And I think moms need to remember that they are women, that they are not a wife and a mother before they are a woman. Don't lose your passions. Don't lose yourself. And I can say don't, and I know it's easier for me to say it than it is to do it. Absolutely. Anything when you have to work on yourself and make yourself a priority, even for us people without kids and a significant other, it's hard. It's still hard. Like, I still go, yeah, but you should be doing this. Oh, I need to go to the gym. Oh, but I could just do my newsletter. I just need to do my newsletter. I just need to do this. Oh, I really wanted to do this new consultant training because we had so many new consultants. So I'll just sit down and do this. And all of a sudden, 8 hours pass by. I haven't eaten. I haven't went to the toilet. I haven't left the house. And I'm like, oh, it's just forget it. And I know that that's my thing. And yours is, oh, well, now we had to go to the grocery store and so needs to get socks for this. And, oh, we still have to do the homework. And, oh, we have to run. He's still got soccer practice. And it's that same kind of way of putting yourself last. But we need to do a better job as females putting ourselves first and being good with it. Not apologizing for it either. Thank you, Daryl. Yay. Thank you, Sophs. Thank you, Rhonda. Me too, Robbie, but I've tried to be really not that in this talk. I do still love you more than you'd even know, Katrina Mott. I do. You mean the world to me. You are. Jamie is definitely her own person. And that's probably why I gravitate towards you too. And you have cool kids. Good job, Veronica. Really proud of you for that. Well, welcome back, Debbie. It's your time. Okay. So, thank you everybody for listening. If you have any questions, just let me know. Can't guarantee what I'm going to have the answer, but I can try. I hear that a lot, Cindy, about Scentsy helping people. And I think that's the thing. I think you forget what you're good at when you have kids. I think you forget what your superpowers are besides birth. I think you forget how amazing you are and how creative you are and how smart you are and how many ideas are up here that you could share and help so many people with, but they're kind of getting pushed aside by Is he wearing pants? Do his pants match his socks? Oh my gosh, wait, what? Where do I have to be today? Oh, crap. And so somehow, and this is why what you do is amazing. And I don't want to take away from that. I just kind of wanted to shed some light on, we have kind of brains the same. It just focuses in different ways. If you're an achiever, especially. Aw, I love you, Karen. You're amazing. Okay, me too, Robbie. Lift with your knees when I get there. Okay, love you guys. Bye.